Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Beebee, and if this is your first time here, welcome, and if you're back for another video, then welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about something that everybody who is in the travel nursing field right now, every single nurse, LPN, CNA, everybody who has been doing travel nursing within the past year and some change are about to deal with, and that is the drop in crisis rates. So in this video, I am going to highlight some of the things that you can do to prepare yourself for the change that is about to come. It was coming. It was a long time coming, and believe it or not, this is a good thing. Things are getting back to normal. People are getting vaccinated. We are opening up restaurants. We're opening up stores. We're opening up the outside. So honestly, I cannot complain, but like I said, the rates are dropping. So we all have to prepare ourselves, and these are just some of the things that you can do to prepare yourself during this new change that is about to come, and also how you can maximize your pay in the meantime while everything is going on. First thing that I would say for people who are just getting into the travel nursing sector, and this is for my people who are just starting off, you need to educate yourself. So like I said in the beginning of the video, $10,000 a week, $6,000 a week, $5,000 a week even was not something that was normal within travel nursing prior to everything that was going on. Prior to everything that was going on, the place to go if you were trying to maximize on your take-home pay when it came to travel nursing was California. And the reason that California paid the most is because, one, they generally do pay most cost of living, and also in the state of California, every single day you get time and a half, and I have a video where I explain that, and I will put that up here of my experience of working in California. But in California, you get time and a half every single day, because time and a half starts after 8 hours every single day. So if you are making $100 an hour in California, from the hours of 8 to 12, you will be making $150 times and a half. So to do the math, you're gonna get $100 an hour, your base pay for the first 8, and the last 4 of your shift, you're getting $150 an hour, and that is every day for every day that you are working in Cali, hence why you make so much money. The other way that nurses used to make money or maximize on their take home when it came to travel nursing prior to everything that was going on, and if I keep saying everything that was going on is because YouTube doesn't like you to use the C word, so that's why I keep saying that, is through strike nursing. So strike nursing is basically what it sounds like. Whenever there would be strikes going on within hospitals that have unions or nurses that are going through things, they actually would bring in travel nurses for X amount of days, and they would pay them actually pretty good money. Before COVID, I think I would see like upwards like $150 an hour. And with those kind of contracts, they're very hard to come by. They really do not last that long because strikes are usually resolved within a couple of days or two, or a couple of weeks or two. And strikes are usually announced like a day or two before you are ready to go. And they're not long. So they're a good way for you to make quick money prior to everything that were going on, but they were not consistent, they were not stable. So, but they were an avenue of travel nurses making copious amounts of money prior to COVID. Now, bringing it back where we are now, the best advice that I can give you, I'm so sorry, something on my nose. The best advice that I can give you is to prepare early. And what do I mean by prepare early? If you are in a travel contract right now, this is a time that you need to reach out to your recruiter, or reach out to the hospital, or reach out to other nurses on your floor to see if there are any changes that are coming about at the end of your contract. Speaking for myself personally, today is May 12th. My contract ends on June 12th, exactly a month from today, ironically. And I found out about 2 weeks ago that my pay would be getting cut to a third of what I am making. Like I said, luckily for me, I found this out 2 weeks ago, so I was able to prepare. So I had 6 weeks to prepare. Now, what do I mean by prepare? If you are looking at that contract and my recruiter has sent me what it would be, which is a third of what I'm making now, This will be the time for you to decide what you are going to do. Are you going to extend your contract for another 12 weeks? Are you going to look for another job? Are you going to be looking for a full-time job? Or are you going to be on standby? And by standby, that means that you don't really want to sign a contract. You don't want to go into staff. You kind of just want to wait it out, see what is going to happen. You don't want to lock in anything right now. And you're kind of just like patiently waiting. This is the time that you need to make that decision. But before you make that decision, you need to do some research. Research for me would entail for you to look at your financial situation and not compare it to what you were making a year ago, because what you were making a year ago more than likely is not what you are going to be making ongoing. Unless something drastically changes and nobody knows what's going to happen, you may not make that kind of money again. So at this point, you need to identify what amount are you comfortable making. Does it make more sense for you to go back to your staff job? Does it make more sense for you to take on a PRN position? Look at other agencies early. Do not wait last minute. I'm gonna keep bringing this up. You cannot wait last minute or you are going to be without a job. The point of looking at other agencies right now is because some agencies are not able to get exclusive rights to certain hospitals. They may not be able to get them at the hospitals that you want. And a lot of agencies, for some reason or another, this is the time where you need to be shopping around, may be able to get you exclusive high-paying contracts with one hospital whereas others are not, especially right now for some reason. And I believe the reason for that is because we're kind of moving back from government-funded contracts back to hospital funded contracts. And once again, I'm going to post a video up here where I talk more about those government funded contracts and hospital funded contracts. Now, with the government funded contracts, during everything that was going on, they gave X amount of money to the hospitals, and basically all the agencies were offering the same amount of money. Now, with the way contracts were before, when hospitals are paying for travel nurses, the hospital will pay your agency, say $100. It is up to your agency's discretion what percentage of that $100 you are going to make. That has nothing to do with the government. It has nothing to do with the hospital. The hospital is like, hey, I'm paying you $100 for a nurse. You take that $100 and you do what you want to do with it. So with that being where we are kind of going back to, you will see a large discrepancy in what people are making and what agencies are paying. You could be at one hospital and I'm making, say, $3,000 a week, and then the person who's sitting next to me who's also a travel nurse, and they're with another agency and they're making $2,500 a week. That's just what it is. And you may think $500 is not a big amount, but that's $2,000 a month. That's a whole mortgage and a car payment for some people. So you need to work with multiple different agencies. Another reason why you may want to work with multiple different agencies is because they may be able to offer you exclusive contracts to other hospitals within your area. For myself, for example, I am working with an agency now, and the hospital that I'm at, they are based out in California. So with them being based out in California on the West Coast, I'll be completely honest, they don't have the best pull, the best relationships with the hospitals on the East Coast. And for the most part, they don't really pay the top amount when it comes to hospitals here. So I had worked with them when I was in Cali, and I had worked with them when we were doing COVID crisis rates because it really didn't matter. But now that I'm back here and we're not really doing crisis rates anymore, there's another company that I went to, and they were able to offer me a lot more than what my agency in Cali was able to offer me. And mind you, it's just another hospital that's right around the corner for me. And that's because they are based closer to the East Coast. Another thing that I want you to kind of keep in mind as well, this is one of those things that you really need to think about, and that is how long you are going to extend for. Are you going to extend for the full 12 weeks? So that is another thing that you are going to want to think about. And I am speaking to my new novice travel nurses who started this whole thing within the past year. Prior to COVID, most contracts were 12 weeks. Most, if not all, contracts were 12 to 13 week contracts. Now, Before you sign an extension, and you will notice that your extensions that you're going to be signing are probably going to be for 12 weeks if they are not crisis rates, you need to ask or request, if you're on the fence about it, if you're not sure what's going to happen, if you're not sure if you want to wait things out, if whether or not you even want to sign for 12 or 13 weeks. Ask your recruiter, ask your travel company if there is an option for a shorter contract. The reason why I'm saying that's a pretty good idea, or something that you can do if you're not sure as to what your plans are, or if you're not comfortable with the amount of money that you're going to be making with the extension, but you're kind of like, oh, I'm in a tight place, I need a job, I don't really have a plan right now, but I may have a plan in the future. Ask for a shorter contract. Ask them for 8 weeks. Ask them for 4 weeks. Ask them for 6. 9 times out of 10, unless there's literally 20 other nurses behind you that want this job, you're already in there, you already have a relationship with the hospital, you've already been trained, they will more than likely say yes to you giving them any type of extension, 6, 12, 10, 2 weeks, rather than start with a whole nother nurse. So that is an option. If you didn't know that before, you know it now. Local contracts. So local contracts is like a whole nother topic. Well, it's not really a whole nother topic, but local contracts is another thing that you're gonna wanna look into. That you may not be familiar with if you are somebody who just started travel nursing. And I personally am going to be doing a local contract after my current travel nurse contract is complete. And the reason why I'm doing a local contract is because, not to get y'all in my business, but it is because I'm in the process of purchasing a home. And back when I did everything in January, my taxable income was what they were with crisis rates, which was up there in the $80, $90, $100 rate. And now with everything kind of going back to where they were, it's more like in the $20, $30 range. And because I'm still in contract for my home, when I redo my paperwork in a couple of weeks, they are not going to want to see that discrepancy. So with me taking on a local contract, that brings me closer to my initial taxable income. And if you're somebody who is kind of in that same boat as I am, or if you're in a situation where you had did some things in the beginning of the year based on your income, this is a good option for you, because your taxable income will be closer to what it was back in January or prior than what it's going to be during the summer. And also the reason why I really like local contracts is because with a local contract, you're still getting paid higher than PRN. You're not staff, so you're not dedicating yourself to a company. I mean, you're not dedicating yourself to a hospital. You're still like technically a traveler, but you're not a traveler because you don't have to leave. You don't have to duplicate your expenses. You don't have to pay all them out-of-pocket fees. You're just basically getting a super high hourly rate, and it is all taxable. So that's an option that you may want to keep in mind. If you are somebody who is not really sure as to what the next step is, obviously you're going to watch my video, hey, and then you're also going to want to ask other travel nurses about their plans. One of the things I love about being a travel nurse, and one of the qualities that I love about most travel nurses, is that we are very transparent. We are like a tribe. We want to protect each other. We're always like, girl, you need to come to my agency, they're paying me, or you need to go work with this agency, they had just posted up something on Facebook talking about they're paying $5,000 a week. Like, we are a tribe. We look out for each other for the most part. So one of the things that I would recommend is for you to get with other travel nurses. For me personally, the reason I even knew that my extension was going to be 1/3 of what I'm making now was because I was talking to another traveler giving morning report, and he told me about it and showed me what the email that they told him where he's gonna get paid, and that pushed me to call my recruiter and ask her what the deal is. So you need to talk to other travelers. If you are not in the position to talk to other travelers, there isn't any at your facility, you're kind of like on your own at this, the best thing I could recommend for you to do is join Facebook groups. Now, next question I always get is, what Facebook group should I join? I'm gonna list a few on the screen or down below that you can search on Facebook, and you can literally also just put into the group search box travel nurses blah, blah, blah. I live in Atlanta. So there are specific travel nurse groups for Atlanta that I am a part of, and they post up job postings, needs. There'll be nurses on there that say, hey, I'm looking for a position starting June, first week of June, paying at least $3,000, and recruiters will actually say, hey, I have a position for you. Hey, I have a job availability for you. So that is one of the things that you can do to kind of help prepare you so that you don't end up in limbo, jobless at the end of your current contract. Educate yourself on pre-COVID rates. That is another thing that you're gonna wanna do, because like I said in the beginning of this video, some people started traveling in the beginning of this and they may think, some people may think that $6,000, $7,000 a week is what travel nurses were making. Honey, no, nobody was making that. So before you deny an extension, before you go and travel somewhere else, before you go searching for these unicorn $7,000, $8,000 rates that you think are still out there right now, I'm not gonna say that they're not gonna come back, because I cannot predict, you know, what's going on, but for right now it seems like they're not coming back. You need to do the research as to what the rates were in your area, wherever. If you still want to travel per se, you still want to go to Cali, you still want to go to Florida, or wherever the case may be where you want to go, do your research as to what the rates were before. They're going to be a little bit more though. They're going to be a little bit more, because technically we're kind of still in that pandemic-y, is that even a word? We're still in like a pandemic-y time, so rates are still higher than what they were before, but they are not as high as they were back in January, and they're not as low as they were prior to everything that was going on. For example, I would say like in the Atlanta area right now, I would say the rates are probably take home still between $1,000 to $1,500 more than what they were prior to COVID. So you'll still be making more, but educate yourself on what rates were. Make sure that what you're expecting, what you think you should make, what you're seeking is realistic for the area that you're going into, and also what is available for that region. Be open to travel for these competitive rates. So a lot of people prior to COVID, and I'm just gonna be completely transparent with you, getting a job during everything that was going on as a travel nurse was super easy. Like there was, honey, there was people that didn't have experience getting like 6 months of nursing experience getting $10,000 a week assignments. But with everything that is going on, it is going to be a lot harder to get travel assignments, because things are slowing down. Hospitals are not at that critical need where they're literally just like, hey, you got an RN at the end of your name, come through. They're actually going to be looking at your experience. They are going to be looking at where you've worked before. If you're qualified, they're going to be people that have way more experience than you. They're going to go back to the strict, stringent 2-year nursing experience requirement that they had before. I'm telling you right now, that's what it's gonna be. So if you're somebody who didn't have that 2-year experience, you didn't exactly do your full 2 years of ICU experience, or just 2 years of experience in general, you may wanna go back to the hospital, or you may want to do maybe a local contract or stay where you're at, because I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get travel assignment jobs. Another option that you can do while you're waiting, if you're not sure, you don't know what you're gonna do, is just to take on a PRN position. A PRN position is a great way for you to work while keeping that window of opportunity open just in case something pops up. Getting a PRN position in your area is a really, really good idea, because once again, you don't have to duplicate expenses. You do not have to pay for separate housing and all that stuff that you had to do when you were traveling. And you literally can pick up tomorrow if you need to, if for some reason there are crisis assignments available and you just want to get up and go. So that is just one thing that you can start doing now. Bringing back my point about preparing early. That is something you're gonna wanna do now. Lock in those PRN positions now. Like now. Like as soon as you're done with this video, go find yourself a PRN job. Please. Okay, so this may sound like something silly that you're not thinking about right now, but it's something that I started doing, is picking up extra shifts while you are still getting paid what you're getting paid. So listen, if you are getting paid like $70 to $100 to $120 an hour right now, and you're in a 3-day-a-week contract, you are in a 4-day-a-week contract, this is the time for you to pick up some extra shifts, because when those numbers end, they may not come back. So that's just something for you to think about. I was on a 3-day-a-week contract, and let me tell you, when I found out that come June 12th, if I wanted to change or extend, I would be down to a third of what I was making. Honey, you see these scrubs? It's because I'm going to work tonight. I was not even scheduled, but I'm going to work tonight because I will be picking up overtime with the current rate that I'm making right now. So that's just like, it sounds like you may not have thought about it, but if you're making really, really good money right now, this is the time for you to be picking up overtime shifts and making it worth your while. That's it. That is the end of my video. I really hope that this helped you kind of put everything into perspective for you. And I have to get to work. It is 17:40, which means I have 20 minutes to get ready and get out of here. So I really hope that you found this video helpful. If you are in a travel assignment right now, I am sending lots of love to you. And I will hope that I will see you in my next video. And as always, if you finished the video, if you got to the end, please comment down below. I don't even know. All right, so if you finish the end of the video, you see I'm already standing, it's because I have to go to work. Your girl is getting ready to go to work. I want you to comment down below navy blue. Navy blue, that's the color of my scrubs. It's the color of the facility that I'm working at right now, so that's why I'm in my navy blue scrubs. So comment down below navy blue scrubs. And if you also have any advice for nurses that are kind of in that weird limbo position right now, who are in travel nurse contracts, who are not sure what they're gonna do, please leave that down below. Somebody may find your advice to be really helpful, and that may help them. So yeah, without further ado, I gotta go. And please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Bye.